Imagine dropping $2,000 on a single piece of tech and actually feeling like you got a bargain. In exactly 2 months, Apple is about to drop a foldable phone that is guaranteed to vanish from store shelves in 24 hours flat. I'm not just making wild guesses here. It is basically a confirmed math equation at this point. Take the biggest tech giant on the planet and watch them casually fix every single annoying thing that Android foldables have been crying about for half a decade. The iPhone Ultra is officially landing this September, and honestly, even the hardcore folding phone haters are starting to panic buy. Once you dig into exactly what Apple actually packed inside this incredibly thin device, you will totally understand why so many people are suddenly ready to empty their savings accounts. Let us break it down right now. Let us kick things off with the brains of the operation, because the rumor mill has a hidden gem buried in the leaks that nobody is paying enough attention to. We all expect the new A20 Pro chip to be stupidly fast, but speed is boring these days. How Apple actually built the chip is the real jaw-dropper. Since the dawn of time, Apple has basically sandwiched their memory right on top of the main processor. It is a classic move that saves space, but it traps a massive amount of heat right in the middle. Like wearing a thick winter coat inside a sauna? Well, the A20 Pro throws that old playbook completely out the window. They are now moving the memory next door to the main chip and slapping a solid metal blanket over it that directly hugs the phone's internal cooling system. Less trapped heat means you get way better sustained performance, which means this crazy thin foldable will not melt in your hands while you play heavy games. Plus, they are giving it a much wider memory lane, so your graphics and AI tasks are going to feel incredibly snappy. Now, let us talk about the elephant in the room, the dreaded crease. This right here is the absolute biggest reason regular folks look at folding phones and just walk away laughing. Every single foldable out there has that weird little ditch running right down the dead center of the screen. Sometimes it is barely noticeable. Sometimes it feels like a literal speed bump when you swipe. And in the absolute worst cases, that crease is exactly where the screen cracks and dies forever. But Apple has apparently cracked the code. We are talking about a completely flat, perfectly smooth, crease-free inner display. Nobody else in the industry has managed to pull this off flawlessly yet. If this holds up when we get it in our hands, the single biggest excuse for not buying a foldable just vanishes into thin air. And the screens themselves are pretty genius too, I'm not gonna lie. When it is shut close, the front screen isn't some weird skinny remote control that feels awkward to type on. It is wide enough to feel exactly like a normal premium phone, and it is perfectly shaped for doom scrolling. TikToks and YouTube Shorts will actually crop correctly instead of chopping off half the video like some other foldables do. But then you pop it open, and boom, you're holding a massive 7.8-inch mini iPad. Flip it sideways, and it is an absolute monster for reading or browsing the web. For the gamers out there, this extra screen space means you literally see more of the map around you, giving you a totally unfair advantage over players on regular phones. Oh, and hold on to your hats. Real functional multitasking is finally coming to the iPhone for the very first time. Not just stretching an app to look weirdly big, but real side-by-side computer stuff. You can watch a video on one half while aggressively typing an email on the other. You can drag and drop photos between folders like a pro. This is exactly what we have been begging for. Here's a sneaky little audio detail that almost nobody mentions, and it might be my favorite part. The two speakers on this thing are set up in a totally brilliant way. Instead of putting them both on the top or both on the bottom, Apple shoved one in the top left corner and the other way down in the bottom right. Apple is already legendary with spatial audio software, and this weird diagonal setup is specifically meant to create true surround sound when the phone is wide open. We are probably looking at the absolute best-sounding foldable phone ever created in history. Alright, let us talk battery juice, and the math here gets super nerdy but really exciting if you pay attention. Early rumors tried to claim the Ultra would have a battery somewhere around 5,800 mAh. But if you look at the rest of Apple's upcoming lineup this year, a massive pattern is starting to form. Leaks for the new iPhone Air point to an 11% battery jump. The iPhone 18 Pro Max leaks show a 10% jump as well. If the Ultra gets that exact same special treatment, this battery is going to blow right past 6,000. That would literally crown it the battery king of the entire foldable market, not just the Apple ecosystem. You cannot have a foldable without talking about the Hinge. Hinge failure is the silent killer of folding phones everywhere. They get loose, they get crunchy, they start making odd popping sounds over time. Apple is dodging all that drama with a brand new liquid metal hinge design specifically built to stop all of that. It is engineered to stay tight, feel super premium, and outlast anything else you can buy right now. But honestly, underneath all the fancy liquid metal and crazy big batteries, there is a much simpler reason this phone will sell out instantly. It has the Apple reputation backing it up. You get batteries that do not swell up after 6 months. You get software updates that last for years and years longer than the competition. There are so many people who have been staring at foldables for a long time, but just never trusted the tech enough to drop their cash. This is the exact phone that will finally get them to say yes. So I gotta know, is this the phone that finally breaks your wallet and gets you to try a foldable for the very first time? Or are you still holding out to see if it survives the drop tests after launch? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.